Hello guys, welcome to SciTech channel. Okay, welcome to our channel SciTech. So today we are going to discuss about MCQs of on Microsoft Excel. Okay, so our subject is computer applications. We are studying. Before this, we have already completed Microsoft Word, some computer fundamentals, some digital logic, and also some um, binary like number systems, binary, decimal, hexadecimal, and octal. Okay, so let's start our this class. Okay, so quickly we will be moving on to the very first question. Okay, so before moving on, so I would like to tell you, please do like, share, and subscribe. Okay, and please do share with your friends even. Okay, so let's move on to our very first question. Default file extension for Excel 2016 workbooks. Every time they will be asking you the default file extension for whichever applications you are using. So it is .xlsx. Okay. Now in Excel, which symbol is used to begin a formula? If you want to write a formula or a function in Excel, out of these four, which symbol is used? Equal to sign, very important. Okay, which character is used in Excel to make cell reference absolute? If you want to make a cell reference absolute, out of these, which character is used? Okay, so it is dollar. Let's move on to our fourth question, which asks you the type of cell reference that does not change when copied to another cell. It will not change at all. Simply, it is absolute, does not change, it remains constant. Our fifth question is, in Excel, the intersection of a row and a column is called what? Row and a column intersection is called what? Cell. Okay, so you know in Excel how many rows are there? How many rows are there? How many rows? 10 lakh 40, sorry, 10 lakh 48,576. And how many columns are there? 16,384. It starts from A and A, B, C, D, like that way it will go till Z, and after that A, B, A, C, like that way it will go on till Z, Z. After that it will start with triple A, AAB, AAC, like that way it will go on till XFD. Okay, if you use the permutation and combination, you will be able to find out these many number of columns. Okay, so let's move on to our next question. Default number of worksheets. How many worksheets you originally get in Excel 2016? You can insert n number of worksheets, but by default how many worksheets are provided? That is only one. Okay, next, select no, if you want to select non-adjacent cells in Excel. Okay, if you want to select non-adjacent cells like one cell, then go on to the fifth cell or seventh cell, like that way. If you want, it is control plus click. Okay, if you click with the mouse and control button, like that way you can select multiple cells. Okay, those are non-adjacent also. Okay, so let's move on to our next question, which says keyboard shortcut to save a workbook. Everybody knows for saving it is control plus S. Okay, right? Next, move on to our next question, which says which tool in Excel allows you to summarize large data sets with rows and columns? To summarize anything, okay, to summarize anything, so we use the pivot table feature. Okay, pivot table is a very important feature. Okay, so if function, there are a lot of functions in Excel. Actually, Excel is used for calculations. Okay, in a very heavy level. Okay, so one of the very important function is if function. So what it does, it performs logical test and returns values based on conditions. Wherever you say conditions, there if function comes. Okay, so next question says in which menu or tab you will be getting sort and filter option. See, sort and filter option you can get in either data tab and home tab both. Okay, so either of the options will work correct. Okay, okay. So next move on to our next question, which says which function returns the number of cells that are not empty in a range, that are not empty. Okay, it can either contain some numbers, if it contains some um, text, if it contains some other things also. Okay, like some symbols. So which is that? Count a, count all, a for all. Okay, which function is used to count numeric values in a range, numeric values. So count function. Okay, next, what is the result of this function equal to average 10, 20, 30? If you do the average, okay, you will be getting 20. Okay, you don't have to do average, actually you just put this function in excel, so it will automatically tell you the average of any numbers. Okay, so next question asks you that what does this formula equal to sum a1 is to a5? Okay, it's simply a1 is to a5 when there is like it is selecting a range from a1 to a5. Okay, so it will add all the values because it is a sum function. So for adding we'll be using a1 to a5. Okay, next, what is range in excel? What is range? Range, what is the use of range, or what is the meaning of range? So it is what? A group of adjacent cells. Okay, is called a range. Okay, now the next question asks you which feature allows automatic filling of days or months or number. Okay, by dragging the fill handle. Okay, so it's very easy, that is autofill feature. Okay, next, shortcut to cut a selected cell or range in excel. Okay, to for cutting anything. Okay, for cutting purpose we use control plus x, for copying we use control plus c, for pasting control plus v, and for undo it is control plus z. Right, this is for undo operation, this is for paste operations, this is for copy operation. Right, and control plus x is for cut operation. Okay, next, which of the following excel function will return the highest value from a list of numbers? To find the highest value we use the max function, and to return the minimum value we use the mean function. Okay, in MS Excel, what is the purpose of transpose option? That is transpose option in paste special. What does it do? Transpose generally means what? Converting the columns to rows and rows to columns, whatever, switching rows to columns and vice versa. Okay, next question asks you select the best referencing style when copying formulas across rows but not columns in Excel. Okay, so best referencing tile for copying the formulas across rows. Across rows, it will be what? Mixed dollar a1 like this way. Okay, so when you will go on across the rows, it will keep on increasing dollar a2, a3, a4, a5. So it is easier. Okay, but if you want to copy across columns but not rows, the answer could be what? A dollar one. So a b c d, a dollar one, b dollar one, c dollar one, like that way, if it is columns and not rows, if the question could have asked you. Okay, okay, next, move on to the next question. The kind of referencing used if a student copied a formula equal to b2 into c2 from row 2 to row 3, the result become b3 into c3. So which type of referencing? It's very easy, it's relative. Okay, so there are three types of referencing, relative, mixed, and absolute referencing. Right, cell referencing. Absolute is what? Dollar a dollar one, if both the row and column part both contains the dollar, that means it is fixed. Relative means a1 if you write nothing contains dollar. Okay, and mixed contains either dollar a1 you write or a dollar one, either the row or the column. So in that case mixed. Okay, so here you see there is no dollar used, so the hence it is relative. Okay, next, move on to our next question. Okay, the best use case of autofill means they are asking you that autofill is used where. Okay, So it is generally used to do what? It is used to replicate a formula. Okay, sorry. It is used to replicate a formula or a date series, right? Fine. So let's move on to our next question. Which Excel chart should you use if you want to compare student marks and attendance visually? Student marks and attendance, if you compare uh, together, okay. So it will be using combo chart, right? Giving two things together. Now, what should you primarily use if you are asked to design a dashboard in Excel? If you want to design a dashboard where all the things for the daily sales are shown, the dashboards are very easy to summarize the things. The things will be a lot easier to see in front of you. The pivot tables and pivot charts are very important one. Okay, so you can generally insert them using the insert tab. Okay, there is a separate marking given pivot chart or pivot table, so from there you can insert this thing. Okay, so let's move on. Choose the best method if you need to format alternating rows in Excel with color. So it's very easy. It is what? It is conditional formatting. With the help of conditional formatting you can just color alternate rows. Okay, next, what would be the impact of using mixed referencing in large data sets? If there is very large data set, so what is the impact? It is very easily to maintain partial flexibility in a formula copying. Okay, next. So thank you, sorry. That's all for from the Microsoft Office Excel. Okay, next we'll be going on to the Microsoft PowerPoint. Okay, thank you for joining. Please do like, share and subscribe and share with your friends. Thank you, have a nice day.